So today marks the day of marathon prep. Cheers. Exciting. So we've got 16 weeks until the marathon on 13th of Feb. It feels totally different to the last marathon because the first one was like, can I run a marathon? Because I'd injured myself previously. Whereas this one's like, how fast can I run a marathon? Which is totally different. The last one I was just saying on my Instagram story actually as well is I trained in 5 different places, whereas this time I get to train in one place, which I am feeling really blessed about because it was really challenging doing that, but I did it. I managed to do it, running all those different places and moving all the time, being so unsettled, which, if you have run longer distances, is super challenging because you need to have there's a lot that goes into the prep, which I love. I actually love it. Like, it's made me realise that I love the discipline of like a prep. Or like a period of time where I'm like super focused on something. So I thrive a lot in a diet, but obviously I can't keep dieting. So I needed to find something else that I loved and I was passionate about and that I could achieve, and that would just sort of allow me to push all my focus into, because I just love it. It feels so good. It feels so good. And it is weird, like other things in life just roll really well when you're in this disciplined loop. So yeah, I'm very excited about it. 16 weeks. Obviously, like I said, I can already run a marathon, so now it's about how fast can I run a marathon, which makes it exciting. Like, this is a goal that I don't know if I'm going to achieve because the goal is sub 4 hour. I did 4 hours 10 minutes. I don't know if I'm going to be able to run under 4 hours. I don't know. I find it hard to run sub 10 minute 10k like easily. So thinking about running sub 4 hour marathon, is it possible? Who knows? Like, I actually don't know. But that's what makes it exciting. That's what makes it a goal, because it's unachievable right now. If it was achievable, then it would be boring, right? So yeah, obviously the challenges we've got at the minute are it's like 35 to up to 40 degrees here at the minute, so it's super hot. Let's see what BBC weather's saying today. It does seem to be cooling down, but at the minute, I don't want to sign in. Yeah, like today it's 36. It seems to be cooling back down. It seems to be going down to like 35, 23 to 35, like 23 at night. So it's definitely getting cooler. I did the end of my last marathon prep here and it was 35. So I'm thinking maybe towards the end of the week or maybe the end of next week, I'm going to start going outside, because all of my runs at the minute I've been doing on a treadmill since we got here, like the last month. It's okay, but the distances are starting to build up now. So like today I've got 10k, then I've got 15k on Wednesday, I've got 17k on Saturday, next week goes to like 19k. So I think I could probably do a half marathon on a treadmill, but after that I'm probably going to be a little bit bored. The same bin that I keep staring at is just giving me evils back now. So yeah, I'm gonna go now and do I've got 6 times 1 kilometer sub 5:12 pace. So a 5:12 pace, if I ran that for a full marathon, well, for a full half, would give me 1 hour 50 minutes. So what we're doing is almost like training me for a fast half as well, so that I can get used to running at the faster speeds twice a week and then doing an aerobic one once a week. So I'm just doing a lot more fast-paced runs at the minute. So I'm doing 6 times 1 kilometer today, 2 minutes rest in between. I'll probably do that at 5:54 minutes per kilometer. Yeah, with 2 minutes rest in between, probably a 2k warm-up. So probably total out about 10k-ish on the treadmill. So let's go. So we are back from run number 1 of marathon prep, and oh my god, it just excites me so much. Like, obviously I'm full of endorphins right now, but it just fucking excites me. Like, it just excites me. Like, I just realised like how much I love a challenge. Like, I literally love being pushed. I love something that like takes me so far outside my comfort zone. And it just, when I was running, I was thinking like how much running does that. And like the other thing about running as well, like you can start the day feeling anxious, overwhelmed, like, you know, you could be, you know, you could just wake up with those feelings, can't you? Like something bothers you or work gets in the way and, you know, something happens and you're like, oh my God, what the fuck? And then you step out and put your fucking one foot in front of the other, and that run will just solve, you know, while you're in the moment, like, you can solve the world while you run. My stepdad said that to me once, and it stuck in my head forever. Like, you can fix anything when you run, and it just is like the best mental escape I've ever had in my life. Like, it's just absolutely incredible. I just wanted to talk about the nutrition that I'll be having, like, through the marathon. Obviously, the last marathon prep, I actually tracked my food, so I was going through a maintenance phase. It was the first, like, full maintenance phase, like, I'd ever run. Let me just, hold on. Admittedly, me and Victoria were going to do a podcast, but it's like, it was the first maintenance phase that I'd ever, like, fully, properly run. Oh, you can't get, why is it, filming is just hard. It's really hard. Yeah, so the first marathon prep I tracked my way through maintenance because I had yet to done a full maintenance phase, and I was really determined to do it because, like, in all honesty, you're never going to successfully maintain unless you run a maintenance phase, which is where you track the calories, learning how to maintain, learning how much food you can eat, how much food you need to maintain, you know, basically to the goals that you've got at that moment. So obviously the handy thing with doing a marathon prep is that you can eat fuck loads of food, but I also needed to understand, like how much food I would need to recover. So I tracked my food, and I haven't been tracking my food now for a month since I've been here. I'm still maintaining in the same weight range, which I'm happy about, because it's nice it's incredible now after years and years and years of tracking to not have to. So another challenging thing in this marathon prep would be like, can I fuel myself correctly and recover without knowing how many calories technically I'm eating? I do pretty much eat the same food every day in the week because I like it, you know, I like to know that what I'm about to eat satisfies me, that I feel full, I feel good. So I think I'm pretty much okay. Obviously the harder things are when the runs start getting, it's interesting, right? So you think that the longer the runs get, the hungrier you get, and it's actually the opposite. So the hardest distances for me are anywhere between like what I did today and about 15k. When you start going over like a half marathon distance, like slower, like with a lower heart rate, you actually, like, I find anything over like 20, 22, 24, which will come up frequently in this marathon prep, I actually feel really sick. And also one thing you have to consider is that how much time that takes of the day, because it's an hour getting up, getting ready, prepping for a run, long run, hour and a half sometimes, if it's a really long one. And then it's really a case of like getting out and warming up, 15, 20 minutes, getting out, doing the run, you know, it could be 2-3 hours, getting back, stretching, foam rolling, it's another hour, half an hour, having a shower, all that sort of stuff. So actually, you know, the long runs sometimes could take up like 4 or 5 hours of my weekend, like when they're really long. Like when I was doing like 37k, it was like fucking over 3 hours of running, you know, 2 hours prepping in and out. It's like 5 hours of my day. So actually by the time we get time to eat it, it's like lunchtime, and actually you feel really sick. So the interesting thing is that actually the longer you run, the more you don't actually want to eat that day. So yeah, I'm really excited for that next challenge. Like that's the next bit that's like, oh, okay, that's interesting because I'm not really tracking my food. So it's understanding about fueling and giving myself enough protein. Carbs are essential for a marathon prep because carbs are our source of energy. So that they really are primarily when you're doing cardio, you want to refuel from it. It's so important to do that. So this is the marathon prep that I'm going into with totally disregarding the thought process of aesthetics and fully taking on board. Now I now utilize food for performance. I don't utilize food for aesthetics. So that's the difference now, is that like the goals are totally shifted for me, whereas spending years eating for aesthetics, training for aesthetics, now I'm training for strength and I'm training for, well, I do want a bigger bum, so it's a little bit aesthetics. We'd be lying if we said it wasn't a little. But also like mainly all of the running is for performance, right? So yeah, it's just gonna be super interesting. So I'm just gonna have, this is what I have for breakfast. I have like 2 scoops of protein, a big apple, it's like 200 grams of apple. I have some fruit and fibre on top, and then I have some like sugar-free syrup. And it's 11:30, so I better get back to work. That is a late breakfast, and I'm gonna have a coffee.
Oh my God.
How cool. Good morning. So, in this marathon prep video, I thought we'd ask Simon what he thinks that I can learn from the last marathon, because he did write my programme for the marathon, didn't you?
See?
So, and he had to experience me doing the full marathon prep. Why is that funny?
That's the hardest part of marathon prep.
That was the hardest part of the last marathon prep, was Simon putting up with me in marathon prep. You can keep making your coffee if you want, don't let us hold you back. So what do you think, what do you think I need to do differently in this marathon prep to the last marathon prep that I did?
What do you need to do differently?
Or what?
Or more so or better?
Well, yeah, what's your opinion? How could I benefit this next marathon by making a change, do you think, having watched me do the last one?
Number one, do some plyometrics in the gym that we put in your programme.
Damn it, how does he know?
Because we programmed them, we added them into program and didn't do them.
What do you mean by plyometrics, for people that don't know what they are?
Jumping and power stuff. So you're doing your strength work, you're doing hypertrophy work, which is like building some athletic muscle.
Which I wasn't doing last time, which is going to be different.
But it's also going to be now, but you having to pull that down and realise that you, in the depths of it, you can't push both. So it's being okay with...
We'll see.
She's like, I'm bulletproof, I can do anything.
Says the girl that had an injury for a year.
Do your plyometrics. I think a little bit more fuel in your runs, because now you're going to be pushing harder, and you will have to fuel more.
Yeah, as last time I was coming out of a diet, wasn't I? And I'm learning to reverse diet fully and learning to maintain fully. So there was a bit of hesitation on the food, wasn't there?
Yeah, whereas now I think you're in a good place, understand it to a bit of a better level. And then last one is welcome to the pain cave.
Welcome to the
Just getting comfortable being very uncomfortable.
I feel like I did well at that last time.
Yeah, you did.
I did moan about it a lot.
You just didn't do as many tempos. Like you got very good.
Tempos are the fast runs, by the way.
Yeah, you got very good at doing your long endurance runs, but you just didn't do that much tempo work.
Yeah, it's interesting because they now feel like so easy. I'm going to use the word easy. Yeah, they do feel easy. Yeah, my Saturday run feels like a doddle now compared to the long one. So
your easy runs will now become extra easy, and your hard runs are going to become extra hard.
Yeah,
rather than before.
I'm already finding that a challenge.
If you went hard, easy, you're kind of like here, whereas now they're going to be like that a lot more, which is good because then you're touching on everything that you need.
Thank you so much.
Coach Simon.
I hope that was insightful. Well, not Coach Simon.
Not Coach Simon.
I'm not actually coached by Simon, but he did help me a lot in the last marathon.
Mr. Joe Parrish in there.
Yeah, Joey's our... he actually coaches both of us, so Joey's the coach, but Simon's the secondary coach.
Sorry!
That's loud.
Sorry!